Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a hair tool comparison video. I've done one recently where I compared the whole Dyson system, the super expensive one that's almost $800 Canadian, 540 US, with the new GHD Glide hairbrush, and those were pretty different tools. I compared them mainly because they were released at similar points in time and both very expensive. So today I'm bringing you a more affordable comparison, and I'm comparing two tools that are closer together. So both in terms of price point and in terms of function and design as well. So in my right hand I have the Revlon brush, which is oval shaped, but it's otherwise a big brush that blows hot air, and it does have different settings here at the bottom: off, cool, low, and high. And this has been so recommended by you guys in the comments underneath my Dyson video. So many of you either purchased the Dyson first and then returned and got this one, or just got this one and really recommended it. So I wanted to try it. And then I did a little research, and a lot of the comments on Amazon said that they had tried the Revlon one and that this one was way better. Babyliss definitely is a little bit more of like a premium drugstore brand in Europe. It's a little bit harder to find, and this is the Nano Titanium Babyliss Pro. So not just the regular one, but the Pro one, and I'll show you why, what is special about this one. But they're both pretty comparable sizes in terms of barrel, just slightly different shapes, because this one is round and this one is oval. So like in that other video, I'm going to do half my head with one, half my head with the other, and then let you guys decide, giving you my feedback along the way and letting you actually see how I style my hair with it. Just a quick note on products, because I think I didn't really say anything about products in my previous video. I always use this as a styling cream. I will link it down below. If you have never tried it and you have hair type that you feel like is kind of similar to mine, like a little bit prone to frizz, and maybe like with humidity or rain you might lose your style, it's so great. It really does make a big difference. Then I use the good old Tresemme, really cheap one, as my heat protectant. I find it smooths nicely as well. I just like it. I've used it since high school. And then sometimes I'll add a little bit of texturizing spray at the very end once my hair is dry and styled, or on like a second day to revive it instead of dry shampoo if it's looking a little bit limper and want a little more body. I really do like the Orbe dry texturizing spray. If you've never tried it, I do think it is worth the money. So it's time to clip up the hair and get right into it, and you guys can compare the results. I'm going to include a little bit of a clip so you can hear what it actually sounds like. I do think that's an important part of the experience. Very loud, but it does fit a lot of hair on the barrel, which the Dyson definitely does not. So this is an improvement over that. If your hair is naturally straight or less wavy than mine, I feel like you would get an even better result, because it would have less texture to kind of fight against. On me, it does a good job. I would even argue it does a better job than the Dyson. I have been in the habit of going over my hair when I do it with the Revlon with my GHDs, just to smooth any little, can you guys see how there's like a little bit of just waviness and texture left at the back? And the front is pretty sleek, but I like to have a little bend under, and so I just kind of do that with my GHDs, which isn't actually really a diss at this hair tool, because when I blow dry my hair at home, I do that as well, because I don't do enough of a good job, and I don't like spending that much time or kind of over processing my hair with it, with the hot air, to the point where I get to that state where the hair is all completely smooth. So now I'm going to show you this side. I'm going to spray a little bit more of this just to dampen it, because it's getting a little more dry. And I'm going to show you the Babyliss one, which is pretty cool. It's got a feature that I had not seen before. This is what it sounds like on full volume. And the cool setting is at the top, so you actually want to go one down for high. So that's using it just like the Revlon one. And it feels a little bit hotter against my skin than the other does, and that might just even be from the radiating heat from the metal barrel. So I was just using it normally, but you can also see. So then once it's done this for a while, I put it on full. So I just go up one with the button, and it cools down pretty fast. It feels kind of nice when that happens. And I just wait until I can't feel any heat anymore against my skin, and I turn it off. And I move on to the next piece. But what you can also do is maintain the length away from your hair. This is how you get a really nice bend under. And just do this. And it's a little fiddly, for sure. But it works really, really well to get that curl under at the end. You just maintain that tension away from your head. And make sure that the hair is in the middle of the barrel. And then you get this, which is really the good stuff that you want, because that's how you get that professional salon blow dry look. For the final unclip. So I have to say, overall I'm pretty happy with both hair tools, because they took my hair from damp to dry. Like, I don't feel any dampness around the roots. I think the Revlon is faster at drying hair, actually, because it's such a big barrel and it just grips the hair really well. Hard to get little wavy bits out because there's not a lot of tension. So you can see I have like a few, this is pretty hot in here, a few little wavies starting around the pieces around my face. Overall, I will probably go over both sides with my GHD, just because I like the smoothness and setting that that creates for my hair. But I feel like on this side, the Babyliss side, I have a really nice sort of shape going on at the bottom of my hair, and there's less of that kind of little frizziness going on around the root, because I'm able to create a little bit more tension with the brush as well. They're both pretty good prices and something to explore if you're into the whole hair gadget scene, as I have been recently. So I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know any favorite hair tools of yours that I still may not have tried in the comments down below. I really appreciate your suggestions. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next installment on style. Bye.